Hey guys, this is like take 7 for this video, by the way. So today we're going to be talking about AdforceX publication-based preferences. Publication-based preferences allow a publisher to manage any number of publications within their AdforceX environment. So each publication that you build in AdforceX is going to have a metadata that it's going to kind of build everything on, right? So your publication is going to have sections, and you sell ads in sizes, and you have a certain number of columns on a page, and there's certain colors. So there's all this metadata about a specific publication that you need to define when you're setting up AdforceX. That data may be common across publications, but it may not be. It may not all be the same. And when you're in a publication, you're building an issue for a specific publication, you don't want to see metadata that's associated with another publication. So this is where publication-based preferences kind of steps in and gives you the ability to view only the information that's relevant to the publication that you're building the issue for, right? So let's look at what I'm talking about within AdforceX. So if you open up if you go into the tools menu and you open up publications, this is where you're going to be able to edit the publication specific preferences. Okay. And because we we mentioned sections, we'll begin there, right? So you can see on the left-hand side of this editor, it says AdforceX demo. It could say Pub 1, it could say whatever the title of your magazine is, whatever you want to name it, you name it. This is my demo environment. So I named it AdforceX demo. And you can see all of the sections that are available to be seen, right? And maybe I don't want all of them to be seen. In the background here, I have a 16-page issue that I'm working with that only has a handful of sections in it. It doesn't have all these sections. So when I'm working through AdforceX, I don't want to see everything that's available to other publications. I just want to see the information that's relevant to mine, right? So if I were to look at these, I'll say, oh, okay, well, I really want to see, let's look through my issue, right? So I have, and you can't, I've zoomed into this screen, so you can't, it's hard for me to go back and forth for you to see the whole screen, but I have a front cover, I have main section, I have local news, I have sports, I have food and wine, and op-ed, letters to the editor, classifieds, and a back cover. And that's it, right? So that's all I want to see. But how would I see it? I would go into the views inspector, right? Go into the palettes and see the views inspector. And this is a tool where we're actually looking at, we can define our metadata that's within our publication, or we can actually view our issue based off of what's highlighted and what we're looking at. The layout view is showing all of the ads, right, in a wireframe view. But let's look at sections. Now, right now, if I look at sections, I'm looking at a sea of sections here. I don't need them all, right? I said that there were maybe 5, 6, or 7 of them. But I'm looking at Kids Link and Israel News and Home and Living. I don't have any of these things in my publication. I don't want to see them. So this is when you go back to your publication editor, and I'll create a new one, right? I'm going to call it Pub 1. And in Pub 1, I'm going to pick only the sections that I want to see. So I'm going to uncheck Allow All. And as I said, I'm just going to do a multi-select. I want back cover. I want classifieds. I want food and wine, front cover, local news, main news, op-ed, sports, letter to the editor. And then I'm going to add them. And you can't see this. Let me make this smaller. And I'm going to click add here. And now you can see these are the ones that are associated with this pub 1 that I created. So I'm going to say okay to that. And, oh, what's going on? I still see all the sections. Well, if I come up here, I have the ability to set the publication that I'm looking at. So now that we've added pub 1, it's available to us. So when I select pub 1, now you see that all I see is the information relevant to this issue. So I can do the same thing for standard sizes. And standard sizes is kind of unique in the fact that it's probably the most confusing, because let's not to drill in too much, but let's say if you look at my pages, you can see that I have pages that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. Well, some might have 4 columns or 5. They might not be the same across all your publications, but you're still going to have a quarter page, and you're still going to, across all of them. Well, those dimensions are going to be different because it's going to be 3 columns or it's going to be 2 columns or whatever it's going to be. So you might have one that's called quarter page. You might have 2 in here that are called quarter page. It's going to be very confusing to look at. So what creating these publication-based preferences allow you to do is to thin that out so that you'll only have to see what's appropriate for each one of those issues. And all of the other noise is taken away from you. So that's how you create publication-based preferences and apply them to your different publications. I hope you found this video helpful after the 7th time doing it. Like and follow for more, and hopefully you'll learn something new each time. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.